Hello, my co-hosts. Hope you're all doing well. I am your host, Tyranno Senpai, and welcome to tonight's watch party event where we'll be watching Prehistoric Planet 2 live. Before we begin our viewing, I wanted to clue you in on how this will go down. Please take the time to open Apple TV Plus on the device of your choosing as I explain it all. This is a part of a 5-night event, so the rules that apply here will be consistent with every other viewing. At no point in this stream will I have the screen on my laptop visible or have my desktop audio on. This is to avoid any potential claims or strikes on my channel. Best way to view is to follow along with me. On the left-hand side of the live stream will be the timestamp, so viewers who are late to the party can synchronize with the rest of the audience. And above that is the live stream chat. On the right-hand side is my face cam, where you'll be able to witness my own reactions in real time. Normally, Apple TV Plus has ads that starts in the beginning of the episode, so we'll skip over to the screen that reads an Apple Original, where the actual episode starts. We want to have an enjoyable viewing experience throughout this episode, so please do not spoil any of the segments. Spoiling the documentary at any moment may wind up with you in the timeout corner. Also, please be civil in the chat if you choose to watch along with us. We're a fun bunch, and we don't mind constructive thought, but keep it polite. Don't be the one guy who crashes the party. At the end of the episode, I'll give my thoughts after the viewing. If there is something you would like to say at that point regarding the episode, feel free to send it through the chat. I would love to have a conversation regarding everyone's thoughts. Wrap it up, this stream will be available after it ends. So if you miss any part of the episode, don't worry. You can go back where you left off. You can also find the previous watch parties in the playlist linked down below. With that said, let's watch Prehistoric Planet 2. I am not muted! Hello, Drew. Hello, Dano Kairos. Hope you're all doing well tonight. Gonna give you guys a moment to get Apple TV Plus on while I tell a little story. I made spaghetti tonight. That's also kind of why I'm like sweaty, because working with hot food makes you sweat quite a bit. So yeah, I made spaghetti, but not in the usual way I used to. What I used to do is get like a pot, fill it with basil tomato sauce, throw in some meatballs, and then top it with shredded Parmesan cheese, and put it in the oven for like an hour. That would be the sauce. For the pasta, I would put olive oil and salt, like the palm of my hand worth of salt. That hasn't changed. What changed is I used a frying pan. I used onion and oh, excuse me. That came out of nowhere. Onion and herbs tomato sauce. And instead of meatballs, I used ground beef. It tasted pretty bland on its own, so I added a little Italian seasoning. It made it smell interesting, and it tasted pretty good. Definitely different from what I'm used to. But I've never made like spaghetti sauce in a frying pan. Excuse me. And also, I didn't have the shredded cheese. Normally, I would also add bay leaves, like to give it a little bit of taste. Obviously, it didn't have those, so I had to work with what I had. So yeah, I made spaghetti, but I had to do a few substitutions. And it's not like something I'm going to make quite a lot because some of the people here I live with are allergic to tomatoes. So there's a lot of recipes I gotta learn how to make that don't have tomatoes. But anyway, I think we're just gonna jump into the meat and potatoes. Oh, and I forgot to do this in swamps. So very sorry about that one. Hold on.
What are you doing in my swamp?
So I'm very sorry to everyone for that, but I've done it now, so you can't say I haven't done it. At least it didn't. At least I didn't make a punishment for that. But I've already tested Snaz. It works, so we're all raring to go. So we're going to be watching Oceans. So we're finally going to take a look at what's under the water, and I'm really excited about it. So too late. I know, Dana Kyers, I know, but at least I've done it now. Like for people, they're probably going to be people that are marathoning all my watch parties, so they're probably going to see that and be like, "Oh yeah, he didn't do it." Now I have, but it's a bit too late. So last time we watched Swamps, and I think that instantly became my favorite episode from the entire series. We'll find out if that changes or not tonight with Oceans. And then after that, we got one more episode to do, which is kind of sad, actually. This is also going to be kind of a short episode because it looks like it's only 35 minutes long. So it's ugh. But anyway, that said, it's time to get started. So everyone, get ready because I'm starting the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and start. Ducky. Ooh, almost forgot. Headband. Ba-da-da! Oceans. He said the words. Oh, are we already opening up with the Mosasaur? Oh dear me. It's too early to roll credits. Ah, so it's not Plotosaurus like I thought. Either way, it's still a new one to me. Phosphorosaurus. I've never heard of this one until now. Excuse me. She's like a dolphin. She's cute. She sure is Putty Sheldon. Also, the added detail of her flicking her tongue out like a lizard or a snake is pretty cool. Oh my god. Or an ophthalmosaurus. No! Okay, now this is reminiscent of the ophthalmosaurus scene when it's like dark and they're hunting for the squid and walking with dinosaurs. I could see that. I can't help but feel that a lot of this series has a lot of inspiration from Walking with Dinosaurs, but revamped. I will say though, she is a cutie, which is something I don't think I would have said about a mosasaur. I need to stop hitting my microphone. Get out of my way. Night vision. Oh, pretty. So there were lanternfish at this time. What is this music? It sounds like aliens, like wheel 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 wheel. Cheeky. This is so cool. That's pretty cool. Again, this is like the ophthalmosaurus pod hunting the squid, but it's just the one animal this time, and it's a mosasaur, not a ichthyosaur. I don't think there were any ichthyosaurs during this part of the Cretaceous, is there? She has special eyes. Yeah. Okay, now that shot there is very reminiscent of the baby ophthalmosaur hiding from the Hybotus shark. I'm certain ichthyosaurs were extinct by now. Hmm. Oh, it's the Hesperorniths. I can't say Hesperornithines because these are actually Hesperornis. That's CGI though. Bit questionable. I mean, it could be just because they're underwater, though. Hmm. I like how some fish evolve to do like this bait ball to avoid predators, only to have it backfire because there are actual animals that will deliberately cause them to become a bait ball just so they can swallow them all. Oh yeah, they actually did model the teeth inside. I was wondering about that. Oh, what? Come peck the camera. Peck it. Peck the camera. Oh, come on. That would have been perfect if it pecked the camera. Ooh, is this the bulldog fish, Zephactinus? What was that pronunciation? I always pronounce it Zephactinus, like Nigel Marvin. Oh, like they kind of look like dual shark fins. The devil's fish. Hell's Aquarium. Oh yeah, there are several fossils of these guys that got so greedy they swallowed a fish that was too big for them, and they ended up dying. So we got Predator X and now X fish. What the hell? Ooh. Oh, and there goes a birdie. Why'd the Hesperornis stay knowing these guys were around? I would have just said, fuck this shit, I'm out. Wee! Wee! Jukes! Jukes! Gluttony as a fish. Ziphatinus. Ziphatinus. I can't get over that pronunciation. Oh, hey, the bird got away. Yay! Oh, actually, it looked like there was another one there, too. So two birds got away. Ooh. They're cannibals! Also, may I point out, we didn't see a cannibalistic Majungasaurus in this series. That's breaking the mold a little bit. Because, like, in every other dino doc we see, like Jurassic Fight Club or Planet Dinosaur, there's almost always a Majungasaurus cannibalizing each other. Well, I guess there was one exception, wasn't there? Yeah, Dinosaur Revolution. Dinosaur Revolution didn't have a Majungasaurus cannibal. Although they very well could have, like if they really wanted to. Actually, come to think of it, a lot of the animals here aren't shown to be cannibalistic, except Zephactinus, apparently. Ooh. Okay, I'll admit the CGI work on this is pretty good. But look at all these tiny little. How they. The rendering of this must have been ridiculous. I mean, look at that. I mean, not only are they like, it's not that they're just floating in a line; they're floating haphazardly and interacting with the waves. And look at that crab! Is that CG or is that an actual crab? Oh, I can see through the eggs. But how much of a fraction? Oh, oh, they're cute. Pretty sure that's a real crab. Oh, look at the little puppies. And look at that. They're doing that like little bouncy thing that cephalopods do with shells. Well, I guess the only one that really has a shell nowadays is Nautilus. But still, my point stands. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, that looks like a real crab. But I've never seen a crab with that many colors. That's interesting. Now those just look like floating rocks. Oh, and you can see like the tiny little beak. What the hell? Oh my god, look at that. This doesn't look like CG. It looks like it looks like someone got a bunch of like shells or peas or whatever, put them on a mat and dragged them through the sand. That's what it looks like. That looks so good. And look at that. I feel bad for you see what I mean? I feel bad for all the computers that had to render that because they must have been lit on fire with that many shells interacting and they like get thrashed around in the water too. Like Jesus Christ. Like that's flawless animation. Oh, I guess some stragglers. Oh no. Oh. So we got juvenile power raptors, even though these are clearly the baby Curricula models from before. Whatever. At least they're not bright red like they typically are shown, because we wouldn't have any proof. The reason that most Pyroraptors in media are colored red is because of the name. Babies this season either die or at Floofy. Ah, so it's the return of the Tuarangisaurs. So we're in the sunken continent of Zealandia. Also, since we're still talking about the Pyroraptor, well, I am. I guess we'll get to it later because I think we're about to see the Mosasaurus, excuse me. Oh, oh, that shadow. No, no, no. That was stock footage that was just used there. That's from the first season. They just flipped it around. Oh, come on, man. That was. Don't worry, that's the only instance. It better be, because that was disappointing. What's it doing? Oh, oh, damn. Look at the speed of that guy. Yay! It was fired out like it was just shot straight out of a cannon. Zoop! Gee, mini Christmas. I've never seen a mosasaur swim that fast. Oh my god. That's literally the same shot as before. You lied. Okay, I was about to say, did they do it a third time? No, that's actually a new shot. She did the thing. Probably eating the cat from season one. Ooh. Oh, damn. Look at the effects on that water. Oh. Bandana looking good, my man. Thank you, Tristan. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Take me to the land. Don't you understand? Okay, this episode has made very interesting choices. So I'll save this for the discussion at the end. But I gotta, from what I've seen already, we're not done yet. This episode's kind of lesser, or maybe I'm looking at this through the eyes that have been spoiled with the swamp episode. Oh, look at that eye! Oh, yee. Those almost look like the fossils that I have in my collection. Interesting. What the? What do you know? I didn't realize there was an ammonite that was shaped like a paperclip. That's cool. Also kind of weird. That one kind of looks like a nautilus. Oh, so these aren't fully grown. How do they eat? Their their shell just curves into itself. How do they eat? And look at that. Look at them all. And there's that alien music again. The I'm guessing plankton is pushed to the mouth. This is bizarre. Speaking of poles, all right, what are you? Magarnaria. That's an interesting plesiosaur. They're checking out the camera. You see, I love that. I love that detail. You know, it feels like our true nature doc when animals look at the camera and they're curious about it. These are very interesting looking elasmosaurs. Kind of reminds me of like seals because they'll come up and through the ice to get air. Ooh, look at that! Like pillars of ice under the water. Ah, they're filter feeders. Icky, sticky. You know, I've just come to realize this is kind of like the Cryptocleidos scene from Walking with Dinosaurs. Again, a lot of inspiration seems to be drawn up from Walking with Dinosaurs in this season. Ooh, jeez, sleepy. Also, interesting design choice. They made their tail flukes horizontal instead of vertical. More Turneria. More Turneria. That's what they're called. More Turneria. Kinda, but I'd say season one's Turangosaurs were closer to that. The music's crescendoing. He said the words. He said the words. And now for the Prehistoric Planet. It looks like we're going to be talking about Mosasaurus this time. Minutes from the last episode. So conflicted. Kai Kai Filu. Michael Habib, University of California. Yeah, kind of. I could see that. You know, he explains mosasaurs a lot better than I do. Hoffmanni. I can almost hear the Godzilla music. Kirsten Formoso, University of Southern California. Oh yeah, Crocs hunting wildebeest. Yeah, now crocodiles are nasty, but nowhere near as big as saltwaters, salties. That's interesting. Oh, we a sea start. So because it arched its body like a sea, it gave it like a huge burst of speed. Ooh, so the team behind the show actually had paleontological consultants do an experiment just for this show. That's actually pretty cool. 4 times. Which would explain why we saw it jump completely out of the water. That's so cool. Jeez. Yee. I don't like that. I don't like that. This actually kind of makes the Mosasaur segment in this episode pretty cool. Damn. Yeah, Frit. Like, imagine a Mosasaur alive today. Goodbye, whales. But that's so cool. And that's it. That's the end of the oceans episode. Let me get some stuff prepared for for next time. You know, but that was kind of a weird episode. Um, I'm kind of mixed about it. On one hand, there's more segments this time around than there was the last bunch where there was like 4 or 5. Now there's been 6, which makes these segments feel a lot shorter. It made this episode go by a lot faster. Um, do, 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 do. I am kind of slightly annoyed that they used stock footage from the first season and that they used the same footage from the same episode twice. I have to dock some points from that. Also, weird choice to have the Ammonite segment, then the Mosasaur, then the Ammonite segment again. In the previous seasons, we've seen where we go back to the same animals. Normally, it's at the near the beginning or at the very beginning, and then we come back to it at the end. This time, we just skipped through one segment and then you're there, which is kind of weird. I would have preferred to have seen the Ammonite segment at the end. That would have made more sense to me, anyway. Um, I think my favorite scene out of all that is between the Mosasaur hunting the Turangisaurs and the Hesperornis escaping the Xiphactinus school. Very interesting. Also kind of cool to see, cannibalism in this documentary, because I don't think we've seen cannibalism in this show up until now. And again, they very well could have shown the Majungasaurus that way, but I'm kind of glad they didn't, because that's like breaking the mold a little bit. Because normally when Majungasaurus is depicted, it's depicted as the cannibal dinosaur, because it was, I think, the first concrete proof of dinosaur cannibalism, which is interesting. And the baby Pyroraptors. I think all 3 baby raptors have the same design with some slight tweaks to coloration. I think they're all the same. And that's because there hasn't been any baby dromaeosaurs like freshly hatched from eggs that have been found yet. Which I guess means that they could take some liberties, be like, oh, they probably look very similar, but at the same time, I'd like them to look a little bit different from each other every now and again. And season one, Turangisaur was segment 3 before. Yeah, it was halfway through though. You had like two more segments in between. This only had one. And plus, this episode is a lot shorter than that episode. Like, this was 40 minutes long, and 35 minutes of that is the actual episode. The rest is just credits. But that was interesting. Also, the fact that they actually, just for this show, commissioned an experiment to see how fast a mosasaur would go when it does the sea start. That's interesting. So now we know how fast a mosasaur could swim, uh, you know, when pursuing prey like that. That's interesting. Like, dang, I didn't expect them to go this deep. Like, okay, we're like, that's dedication right there. To be so dedicated to, like, we need to know this estimation for this show. That's awesome. It also shows that, this documentary does have its hands on research that's currently not publicly available at the time. So that's a nice little bit of detail right there. Also, the water effects. Oh my god, that was top notch. Like, well, animating water, especially in live action, is extremely hard to do. Like, but this was like pushing the envelope. I think we're with this episode specifically, we're pushing the envelope to the point where it's almost flawless. It still has a few kinks, but it's almost there. Like the way the water just fell off the Mosasaurus's flipper just really sold it to me anyway. But yeah, I'm kind of mixed on this episode. I mean, there were some creative decisions I wasn't too big on. Segments in weird places, the use of stock footage. I still think that the previous episode Swamps is infinitely better in more ways than one. But this was still pretty good. It's not the most perfect episode. None of these are. But Prehistoric Planet as a whole has never really had a bad episode. This was just one that made me feel, they did good, but they could have done better. But this is where I'm gonna have to wrap up the stream. In the next one, we have one more episode, the final episode, unless they make a third one, which I've heard some possibilities of that floating around the internet from Darren Nash being like, we could do they didn't say we will make a Prehistoric Planet, but like they mentioned that the Prehistoric Planet was big and something about like time travel. So if they make a season 3, maybe there's a chance we might get out of the Maastrichtian and go somewhere else. Personally, I'd like to see the Jurassic because, Allosaurus and crap like that. I want to see. This might be the weakest of the season. Yeah, this one was kind of weak for me too. From the previous season, the weakest episode from that, what would that have been? I honestly think the weakest episode from the previous season was Freshwater. I don't know why, but that feels like the weakest one to me, personally. But who knows? Maybe the next episode might catch us by surprise. Because next time, we are going to. We're going to America. Fuck yeah. Might take a while for a third season. I mean, the first episode of season 2 literally came out almost a year after season 1. Like, I'm pretty sure this Sunday will be the 1-year anniversary of the show. So there's that. Anyway, actually no, it came out on the 21st, so it's already been a year. Never mind, take that back. But yeah. Yeah. This is pretty cool. Also, there's a bunch of other stuff. Like, there's this other dinosaur movie that people have been talking about with this weird actress I've never heard of that apparently might seem like a weird choice to some people. Never heard of it, and it still doesn't have a name. And of course, we have Surviving Earth and Life on Our Planet, which is coming to Netflix in November. So that's 4 months away, I think. If it actually comes out at that time. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Um, it's always been fun. Tomorrow we will be wrapping up our string of watch parties throughout the week. And then I got to work on 11 different scripts because I have 10 reviews for each individual episode of Prehistoric Planet, and then one review covering the entirety of the second season. So, yeah, there's a lot of work that's going to be happening after tomorrow. But if you enjoyed tonight's stream and you want to see more coverage of Prehistoric Planet, leave a like, subscribe today, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything new. My link tree is in the description below. You can find my Discord, my TikTok, my Instagram, all my socials that you'll possibly need in the description down below. And until next time, this is Tyrannosenpai signing off. Alrighty then. Take care now. Bye bye then.